Pottsville's Easter Egg Hunt of 1980. Written by Gdokim and narrated by ClancyPasta. The Pottsville's annual Easter egg hunt of 1980. I can still remember it like it was yesterday. At the time, I was 9 years old. Like the other kids my age, I was excited about the upcoming Easter egg hunt. That year, I was determined to collect the most eggs and beat Susie Jenkins' previous record. Anyway, Pottsville is a small town with a population of about 10,000. It's your typical Midwestern town, much like Mayberry, where everybody knows each other and has just enough amenities to get by. For about 100 years or so, Pottsville had been holding its annual Easter egg hunt, which was often followed by the community potluck. I always looked forward to the community potluck, too. Anyway, I remembered that day the town square was packed, but you could tell that everybody was on edge. You see, about a month earlier, a giant meteor had landed on Old Man Johnson's egg farm. After the meteor landed, it caused a huge explosion that was felt throughout the neighboring counties. I could hear the grown-ups talking about the giant meteor, since it was the biggest thing to happen in Pottsville since the Great Train Wreck of 1945. Of course, several experts from the nearby university were called into town. The meteor was said to have been the size of a car, but that could have been an exaggeration on their part. All this talk about meteors was boring to me. And besides, it was almost time for the Easter egg hunt to begin. Soon the subject of the meteor was forgotten, only to be replaced with thoughts of the upcoming hunt. All I could think about now was how many eggs I could find. Luckily, I spotted my first egg 5 minutes into the hunt. Something was weird about this egg, though. Instead of your standard dyed egg, this one was black, reminding me of the eggs in the movie Alien. Anyway, I stared at it in awe and could feel something moving inside it, causing me to drop the strange-looking egg. At this point, the egg was beginning to crack. An awful smell like sulfur escaped from the egg, almost causing me to pass out. As I steadied myself, I could hear 8-year-old Mary Murphy, who was nearby, let out a shriek. Soon, the whole park was filled with screaming kids and frantic parents as all of the Easter eggs began to burst open, revealing what I could only describe as grotesque-looking rats, with some of the creatures having multiple eyes and legs. Not long after the chaos began to brew, the creatures began attacking all the people in the park. Those of us who managed to escape ran to the nearby church for refuge. Once inside the church, Father Miller immediately locked the door. "We should be safe in here for now," he said. The church was filled with concerned parents and sobbing children, including me. "Okay, folks, we need to calm down and figure out what those things are," Father Miller said. "Who are you telling to calm down?" Old Man Daniels shouted. "I understand your concerns, but let's be rational here." Just then, one of the windows shattered as one of the creatures tried to make its way inside, spraying glass everywhere. "Quick, follow me," Father Miller shouted. We all followed him into the church's basement. Once everybody was safe inside, He slammed the door shut and then locked it. It was one of those vaulted doors, so we were safe. All of the women and children, including myself, began to cry. You could hear the creatures from above scurrying around. At this point, we were all on edge. So, when we heard gunfire off in the distance, we began to cheer. Help was finally here. In the days that followed, the surviving citizens of Pottsville were placed under quarantine, but soon the incident was forgotten, and nearly 43 years have passed. Last night, though, at approximately 9 p.m., a huge meteor landed on the Johnson Egg Farm. The annual Easter egg hunt is in 3 weeks, so in the meantime, I'll just wait and see what happens. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode of ClancyPasta. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate it if you would give the video or episode a like, subscribe, or follow for more. And if you'd like ad-free narrations, you can always go to patreon.com/ClancyPasta. And for as little as $1 a month, all of the new episodes that I put out on here are going there completely ad-free. And a huge thank you to all of my Patreon, YouTube member, and Anchor supporters. Truly could not do this without your support. If you have a story you would like me to possibly narrate on this podcast, you can always hit me up on Twitter @ClancyPasta, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good night. Cheers.